All right, today's 7:15, second date update between Jill and Thomas. I kind of get both sides of things. I know she's not the only girl that does this.
So we want to find out, who do you agree with? Is it Jill or Thomas?
Here's your 7:15 second date update for today.
Trying to help out Jill this morning on the 7:15 second date update. JR, Lana, Kevin here. A couple things that stood out. She said that the date went really well, but she's old-fashioned and she wants him to reach out first because she has not heard from him since the date, which is kind of ironic since we are reaching out to him.
Yeah, that is a little different. But she said they had a great date, went to downtown St. Pete, had some, said they were FaceTiming before they met on the date and texting. So it seems like they've been kind of talking back and forth for a couple of weeks. But
That's what she said, yeah.
She doesn't know why he's not texting her back.
All right, so we haven't talked since the date. We're going to try to call Thomas and see if we can get him on the phone.
Hello?
Hey, is this Thomas?
Yes, it's Thomas.
Hey, Thomas. This is JR, Lana, and Kevin over here at 99.5 QIK. We're Tampa Bay's morning crew.
Oh, how you doing?
Good morning.
Good, man. I don't know if you've heard of our show, but we do something called a 7:15 second date update, and this would be that time. And we want to see if we could talk to you real quick. A couple questions.
Am I in the air right now?
Yeah. Is it okay if we talk to you on the air for a second?
All right.
Okay, and again, I'll explain what we're doing. We were going to ask you about a girl that's really, really into you and actually had nothing but nice things to say about you. Would that be okay?
I like that, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, listen, man, we heard from Jill, and Jill told us that you guys had been talking for a couple weeks. You guys even had some FaceTime phone calls back and forth, and then you guys decided to go out in downtown St. Pete. You went to Bella Brava. She said you guys had some nice glasses of wine. It was a great date. It was a beautiful night. She said you were a gentleman. She said she felt like you really had your life together when it came to job and family and all that. And now she is kind of bummed because you have not reached out since the date, and she's trying to figure out what happened.
Wow. Okay, and that's what this is about. Well, I mean, that's an easy one. Honestly, the date was awful.
Oh, whoa, boy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out why you guys would be so far apart on this. She thought it was great. You thought it was awful.
Yeah, I know. I was super offended. It was really, really terrible.
What happened?
Well, okay. We're having dinner, and she has like her friend call her, like to check up on her in the middle of the date. And so all of a sudden she gets this call, and she's just on the phone with her friend for a while, while we're just sitting there. And they're just talking about me, like in front of me. She's just like, oh,
that's awkward.
No, yeah, he's fine. Yeah, everything's okay. And no, it's going to be okay. Like, I don't know. It was just really bizarre.
Huh. Did you guys talk about it afterwards, though, after she hung up?
No, I mean, I was just so weirded out. Like, they literally sat there talking about whether I was like a serial killer or something in front of me. I mean, we had been talking for 2 weeks. We were FaceTiming. Like, she knew me all too well at that point. And not only that, we met at a restaurant of her choosing. I don't even understand what the confusion was. She knew me at this point.
Thomas, let me ask you a question. Now, you know that she's not the only girl that does this. We've heard stories about this, girls checking up on their friends. You never know on a first date, that type of thing. So, I mean, it's not necessarily that crazy of a thing. I mean, do you really think you should be that offended by it?
I mean, I just thought we were past that. I mean, yeah, I'm a nice guy. I think she knew that about me, and it just seemed really immature that she has to do this whole checkup in the middle. And it was a long one, too. They were talking for a while.
Now, talking about you in front of you, that would be awkward for sure.
Okay.
That's awkward.
I get it.
Jill probably didn't mean anything by this, but we actually have her on the phone, Thomas. I want to bring her back on. Jill?
Yeah.
Well, you heard what he had to say. I mean, go ahead and talk to Thomas.
Well, I mean, the way I see it is there's nothing wrong with a woman wanting to protect herself on a date where she's meeting someone in person for the first time. I really don't feel like it's that big of a deal.
You didn't think that was weird? We were talking for 2 weeks. We were FaceTiming, talking all the time. I mean, it just seemed immature to me the way you were doing it. It was a long call, too. And where does it end? That was all I was thinking as you're talking to them. Like, you know, are you going to have checkups like every time we would go anywhere, or if we went on vacation, or it's just like what you're going to do all the time?
I think you're completely overreacting. I can apologize for maybe doing it right in front of you and like it being a long call, but I'm not going to apologize for having my friend check up on me.
It just seemed rude to me to be talking about me like that right in front of me.
You know, Thomas, I get that in front of you that would be kind of odd and awkward, and maybe you could be felt rude to you. But you got to respect a young woman trying to protect herself, right? You get that.
Yeah, what about like a quick text? But instead, it had to be this big interview in front of me, how things are, whether I'm a murderer or whatever. And it just seems weird.
I don't know what to tell you. If you don't know what it's like to be a woman, then like...
Again, you could have just, a quick little text even when you felt safe. You could have just texted her, I'm fine, he's not a killer, or something.
Yeah.
That would actually be a more alarming text, I feel like.
Honestly,
if that's the standard.
he's not a killer, so.
Let me ask you this, Thomas. I mean, Jill obviously trusts you now. She's reaching out to us. Yes, awkward, mishap, misstep could have been handled differently. But if you had a good time, man, I mean, is this really going to be a deal breaker for you?
I think so. I think it just seemed very immature to me, the way she handled it. And I just didn't like what that says about her and how she's going to handle things in the future. It just doesn't make me feel good about it.
Well, Jill, you heard what he had to say. I'm sorry we can't make a second date happen. I totally respect you trying to protect yourself and keep yourself safe. I totally get that. I think just Thomas felt a little awkward that it happened right in front of him, and he knew about it.
Oh, I guess it is what it is.
Okay. I'm going to let you guys go. I appreciate you guys' time. You guys have a great day, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Sorry it didn't work out.